So I came up with a system that basically allows me to track my finances in my sleep. This means I don't have to make any active effort to find out how much money is going where, and my finances and budget is tracked automatically while I sleep. And this was a game changer as a busy person like myself. If you're a busy professional, or maybe you're just lazy like me and you just want a system where you can set and forget so that the system basically takes over and does all the finances for you, then this video might be for you. By the end of this video, you can use this exact system to save, budget and pay your bills automatically so that your money runs in the background smoothly and you can focus on your life. So before we start, I will suggest you to have 3 bank accounts or possibly even 4 bank accounts to make this system work the most efficiently. So how about you take a pen and paper and sit down and let's make these finances work together. So first things first, you need to know what is your budget. By this I mean you need to exactly know how much money you're spending per month and where is that money going. Now if you have never tracked your finances before and you have no clue where your money is going, you can use my system and see how you can track it efficiently. So in my case, I divide my expenses into 3 categories. So category 1 would be definitive expenses, category 2 would be fun money, and the third one would be potential expenses or future expenses. So definitive expenses category is basically things that you're going to be spending money on anyways every single month. Now this is things like rent, utilities, then groceries, which you need to spend every single month, gym expenses, and you might have other expenses. So these will be definitive expenses that you're basically going to be spending every single month regardless, and it's going to come out of your bank account. So my rent is 1,100. In my case, I've kept £150 a month for utility bills. Groceries, I spend around £150 a month. In your case, whatever it can be, and gym is around £30 a month. Next category is fun money. Fun money is the category where I spend money on anything fun that I think is fun. So going out, spending money on card games, spending money on video games. So stuff that basically makes me enjoy life a little bit. It might be different for different people. You can have a look and see what are the things that you spend money and set a budget. I've kept around 150 per month for fun money. I also will add in this category personal spending. So £100 a month. I'll keep another additional £100. This is also for my petrol expenses. So technically I'm going to be allocating £350 into this category. Potential expenses basically helps me plan out my entire year in advance. So how do I do this? What is potential expenses? Potential expenses for me would be things that I will be potentially definitely spending in the future. What I basically do is I sit at the beginning of the year and I decide what are the things I'm going to be spending money on. So things like, number 1, if I've planned a trip or 2, I will set a budget for that trip and then divide that for 12 months so that every single month money is allocated to that part, if that makes sense. So basically, rather than taking a full amount when I have to go for the trip, I start setting money aside from the get-go so that at the end of the year when I have to go for that trip, it doesn't feel like I've spent a lot of amount. So let's say I was planning a trip and that would cost me 5,000 this year. I will divide that by 12. So that's around £420 a month. I would do the same thing with many different bigger expenses. Once a year I have to do MOT, I have to do car service, and I also have to pay insurance. So on a rough estimate, I spend around £2,000 a year for that. I'll divide that by 12. That comes to around 180-ish per month. The big expense that I'm saving for is ILR. So in the future, when I come to my 5-year mark, I have to spend money to basically apply for permanent residency. And that basically costs a lot of money. So rather than waiting for that, I started saving for it now. I basically have allocated, say, around £150 a month that goes into that. So you can see a pattern over here. So 1, you've got definitive expenses that you're going to be spending money for anyways. Then you've got the fun money category, and then potentially savings. So things that you're going to be spending money for anyways. And this is how I divide my budget. So now we come to the fun part. We have an idea of how much we're spending on the definitive fun money and potential expenses. This is where the automation happens. So look at this structure and see how it basically works. So this is the amount that I'll be spending per month that needs to go into the right pots, right? First of all, you've got your main bank account. This is where your salary comes in. Let's call it 3,000 for the moment. So what you need to do now is you need to set up direct debits. And this is where the automation happens. You set up the direct debit to go from your main bank account to this first bank account. In my case, it will be 1,430. Then another direct debit has to be set up to go into a second bank account. This is the fun money bank account. In my case, I use a Chase account, which I think is a brilliant account. And then finally, the third direct debit, and this one I would recommend a Monzo because Monzo has this feature called pots. In Monzo, you can basically put money into your bank account and you can set up small pots for each individual expenses. And I love that feature. So money goes from your bank account to Monzo. So this is going to be the potential expenses. So from Monzo, I will set up another direct debit to go into these individual pots. So that money is not just sitting there in Monzo and you don't know how much is for which category, but rather they're all in those individual pots. And because they are potential future savings, you will actually need them in the future. So you don't need to spend all of the money now. So now what have we done? We basically taken the money that falls into the main bank account and we basically divided into 3 different bank accounts. And this makes it so much easier because 1, we have already looked at our finances and know how much we are spending and we have set a budget. 2, because you have a specific amount in the bank account, if you start spending more than that, you get locked out. So you know you can't spend more than the amount that's in your bank account. So at the end of the day, when you're getting close or the bank account is becoming thin, you might actually know that, oh, I've started spending a lot more. And with the last bit, with the future potential savings, what I like is the fact that you have accounted all the potential expenses you'll be getting in the future and they have been allocated into particular pots. So over the next 5, 6, 7 months, those pots will start becoming heavy. And when you do need to use them for those expenses, you don't have to take it from your main bank account. This really helps for 2 reasons. Psychologically, you feel that, oh, I've not taken out so much money from my bank account. And secondly, it's a smart decision because at the end of the day, you're planning for all these things early. So finally, whatever the money that is locked in your main bank account actually reflects the savings that you've done. So this is pure cash that you've saved after accounting for all of these. By using this exact formula, I have managed to now not look at my bank account or finances anymore because it's so efficient that I'm able to do it in my sleep and I don't have to think about it at all. But this shouts the question as to why are we saving this money? Obviously, it looks great to have few additional zeros in your bank account, but real wealth is built on investing and investing properly. And that is something we suck at. And as a doctor myself, I am currently on a journey to learn a lot more about the finance world and learn a lot more about the business world. And investing is something that I'm constantly learning and growing. So in my next video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the basics of investing and how you can potentially get started in the world of investing. So as a doctor, I'm currently on a mission to basically improve my finances, a mission to learn a lot more about the finance world. And while I do that, I am sharing it with you guys. So if you got some value from this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel and share it with a friend of yours who you think sucks at finance. This is your boy, Dr. Zeezy. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.